Hey guys, this is Nathan from lucidnetworker.com, and today we're going to continue a series talking about the appropriate Windows 10 editions. So Windows 10 is broken down into three different editions. These different editions have different sets of features. For this exam, we want to focus on the differences between Home and Pro. There is a third edition called Enterprise, but really you can lump this into the same category as Pro. So here we are on the Microsoft webpage. They actually have an official page dedicated to comparing Windows 10 Home and Pro. If we start scrolling down, you'll notice that there are a few features listed here, and these features have corresponding check marks indicating whether they are available in Home or Pro or both. I'm not going to go over every feature in great detail. We're just going to go over the primary differences between Home and Pro. So the first one I notice here that is a discrepancy, of course, is the BitLocker device encryption. Uh, BitLocker device encryption is a technology that allows you to encrypt a hard drive and essentially puts a password on your device whenever you boot up to essentially give the operating system access to that drive. So this would be very useful if someone actually was able to steal that physical computer. They wouldn't be able to get into it, without that password. They can't just simply reload Windows. That's going to do nothing. They still will not have the password to, unencrypt that data. If we start scrolling down here, the next discrepancy you see is mobile device management. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. So the next feature we have here is actually group policy. If you look here, there's actually a little drop down where you can get more information for each feature. And so I just did that drop down in group policy. And what it says is manage PCs, user accounts, and groups and get easy access to files and printers when you pair Windows 10 Pro with Windows Server. You can even define specific security and networking policies for users and devices. Right. So this is a super important feature for different networking environments where a centralized server can actually manage all of these devices. So you can set policies, for example, that say, "Hey, I want this computer to go to sleep after 30 seconds," for example, or "I want you to add this printer every time." This user logs on, or I just want this printer to be there when this user logs on. So as an administrator, it's very helpful and saves you a lot of time when you don't want to go around to each and every computer and make changes such as that. So the most important feature we actually have on this list is Active Directory. And as you can see here, Active Directory is actually not on Windows 10 Home. It's only on Pro. And the reason you need this is it allows large organizations or even smaller organizations to centrally manage users, file access, and printers from one location. It's a super important feature if you need to manage, tons of computers, tons of users for a large environment. So that's it for part one. We have plenty more to cover for this exam. In part two, we're going to go over upgrading Windows and actually installing Windows. If this content helped you, please, leave a like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment.